the meeting to order. First on the list is to adopt the agenda. The only change is instead of Dennis Egan here, it's Valerie Larson Holmes is here instead. Otherwise, any other changes that you guys know? Okay, take a motion to adopt.
I'll make a motion to adopt the agenda.
Second.
Tony Beecham. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next is the mission statement and belief statement. How did you sign up for that? No?
We don't do it in the summer.
That's right.
Huh?
No, we've heard this before. Go ahead. Move on.
We
You
get
can look it up.
Want me to do it? I have it.
You got it.
Ellen, go ahead. Sorry. I
I
probably
do think we said last month that we don't do it in the summer.
I know, but I
Did we?
forget about that,
I
I just
remember
do it
that.
because I just have it on the agenda,
So
so,
sorry.
sorry.
It's on the agenda. I just read it.
All right, here we go.
Here we go.
Mission statement: empower students to become independent learners, personally accountable and responsible citizens. Belief statement: Deuel School District believes everyone in the community contributes to the education of the children in our schools. Therefore, we are committed to personal responsibility and accountability, respecting others and maintaining an open line of communication in the district, providing opportunities and resources for individual success, maintaining and communicating high academic and professional standards.
Thank you, Ellen.
Yep.
No, you forget to put.
And I'll try to, if I have to read it next month,
Again next time, that's the problem.
if I put it on there, right?
Yes.
All right.
You put it on, you get to read it.
Yeah, true.
Well, it's just something that stays on there, so.
Just leave it because then you'll
So I
forget to
can
put
read
it
it.
on in August.
I'll read it.
Yeah. Okay, and then for public comments, Valerie, we'll let you have your turn.
Oh, sure, yeah. Do you want me to stand or?
You can sit. That's
Okay,
fine.
all right, that sounds good.
Yep.
Well, I'm Valerie Larson Holmes, and I'm the Director of Communications at Missouri River Energy Services. I've been there 25 years. We're a South Dakota not-for-profit electric utility. So we serve customers, municipals like Brookings, Watertown are probably two of the closest, Big Stone City. And then we have 61 what we call members, but they are city-owned utilities or community-owned utilities in 4 states, so Iowa, Minnesota, North and South Dakota. And I'm not sure if you're aware, but Missouri River was the company that was proposing to build a natural gas plant northeast of Toronto. And the county commission approved the rezoning of the land, and then it went to a public vote, and overwhelmingly the public supported to not rezone by the land by a vote of, I think, 901 to 438. So we heard what the community said. But we just wanted to follow up and kind of close the loop with the Deuel School District. I was here a couple months ago, or maybe it was a month ago, when you guys presented the high school scholarships. And we had provided 4 $1,000 scholarships for deserving students. And I have to say, earlier I was mentioning that kids went to Brandon Valley, and I was so impressed with the amount of scholarships that you offered to your students. I'm going off topic for a little bit, but I was astounded, and it was one of the first things that I said when I got back, like, that is so impressive that you give out that, so you must have a very supportive community. But anyhow, I want to thank you for allowing us to provide those scholarships to your students, and just also then wanted to let you know that, right now we put that project on hold. We haven't decided yet what our options are. But with that also means that we have to put, on hold any of our community donations, but until we figure that out. But I just thank you for being accommodating to us. Congratulations to your students who earned all those scholarships. And any questions that I can answer?
Yeah, I get questions on who owns that, and I know it's community, like, does it have to be a community like Brookings it can't be like a REA, Rural Electric,
No.
East River or anything?
Yeah,
So-
it's a very good question. So our business model is similar to rural electric cooperatives or REAs in that they're not-for-profit. So the city owns, or the residents own the utility, unlike an investor-owned utility where they're answering to shareholders. We do have 2 boards of directors, but they represent those 61 member communities.
There is 61, okay.
Yep, yeah.
So you got a, 10-member board or
At 13, and so we have one that's representing Missouri River Energy Services, and then we have what is called our financing agency, and that's called Western Minnesota Municipal Power Agency. And we do all, at Missouri River, we do all the work for Western Min, but they provide the financing.
I'm just asking questions that you got asked me, and I
Yeah.
really wanted to have this project, you know, and so that's, how many, like, kilowatts would that produce?
It was like 145.
That's what this one would do?
Yeah, it
We've
was.
got other sources of energy or power plants around
Otter Tail owns a natural gas plant, but,
Okay.
you know, in today's day, quite honestly, natural gas is the most economical, and we looked at 10 different locations in our service, what I call our service territory, and landed on this one for a number of reasons, access to the
Well,
pipeline.
it's good location.
Yes,
I remember Steve Myers is on the board?
yep, Steve is the general manager. Yep, I'll see him on
I've known
Thursday.
him for years.
Oh, sure.
For about as many years I've known Mr. Beasley. So.
Oh, gotcha, yeah. Can I answer any other questions? Okay.
No, so thanks
Well,
Valerie for.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank
thanks.
you. My colleague is over at Dewbrook, so I gotta go pick her up in
Yeah.
Toronto.
Oh, yeah.
So I wanna say thank you again, and thanks for letting me be on
Yeah.
like first thing.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, all right, well, you
Thank
guys
you.
all have a good summer.
Thanks.
Thanks,
You
you
as well.
too.
Thanks for the effort to put, trying to get something down.
Yep, thank you.
Conflict of interest disclosures, none. Excuse me. Next is, we'll take a motion on the consent agenda items. One being approved minutes for the May 11th meeting, and then approve the May 26th payroll. And those items starting on page 7, if you wanted to look at them, but otherwise I will take a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
That's appropriate.
Yep. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. No old business. So for new business, we're gonna approve the financial report for the month ending May 31st, 2026. Any questions on the bills? I do wanna highlight, there's a bill on there for Deuel Booster Club. So there's a few members of us on the Deuel Booster Club. Deidre, my sister, myself, Heidi Eastman, Jane Gubrud, and Katie Rammel. And we manage the concessions as the primary owner, and we receive the profits from that. And so that's the profits made from concessions. That money will then get returned back to those that work the concessions. So any of the clubs or community members that, it's all club-based, that money will be returned back to them, and then any other remaining profit goes back to funding requests by other clubs. So the football team's getting $2,000 for camps this summer, and then we gave $800 to 4A performance to make the kids fee less. So just so you know, that's a hefty number, but it's going back, right back to the clubs and those that are in our school. Any questions or comments on the other
A lot of
bills?
work to get that.
Yeah.
It is, and Deidre, I'll commend her, she does most of the work. I kind of help recruit people to work it, which is not that hard. And Deidre puts a lot of effort and time in. And now next year, that's gonna be Kia Kellen, that's changing to her, so she's gonna support us in that. Any other thoughts, or otherwise I'll take a motion to approve the bills?
Joel moves.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next is the approval of the food service prime vendor, and that's starting on page 17? 18, excuse me, 18.
So my numbers are on the top this time. I
I-
keep moving
yeah,
and see if I can get them to work
That
better,
was a
but.
good spot, I think, yeah, it just took me a second to find it. And so Ellen, do you wanna kind of talk us through that?
Yeah, so, we do the food service, through that, I think it's, well, it was Dakota 15, I think, when we approved it, but I think a couple schools dropped out, so it's like 13. But anyway, they go, so Brandon Valley goes out and does the bid process for us. It gets sent to, I don't know, I think 3 different companies or whatever. And this was the only one that they received one back.
Oh, really?
Which I think has been typical of the past couple times. And they have, normally you only have to go every, I think it's 3 years, but since the number in our group changes, then they have to go out, if the number changes, then they have to go out every year. So if the same schools stay in, then they won't go out again for, they don't have to go out for years. But, yeah, performance was the only one, and that's who we've had the last, I don't know, probably 3, 4, 5 years, I think
It's been a while.
we've had performance, so.
Take a motion to approve.
Make a motion.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
That's Wade, was that your
Oh,
second?
sorry.
Okay,
Yep,
sorry.
Leanne Wade.
Sometimes you guys all sounded like, but.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Motion carried. I think that's where I left off.
Okay, sorry.
Approve the milk bid.
In milk bid, we only have one, from, what's that, Prairie Farms, because that's the only one around here that does. And they really don't do a firm bid, they do escalated pricing. But milk, most of them, and I don't think it's much different, might be a few cents more than last year, but they're like between 38, 39 cents a carton is what it is.
And when you say escalating prices, they're kind of going off with a margin off what they, or what does that mean?
Yeah, I don't know, it just says there's no firm bid being offered, so that's what they just have.
No, it goes
But
up,
I
no,
don't,
it goes up.
but yeah, I don't think, I don't know, in the past, I don't think it's varied a whole lot, but I guess if milk prices would really change, it could possibly, but they won't do a firm pricing, so. And it's the only option we really have, there's
Yeah.
nobody else around that,
Okay,
yeah.
take a motion to approve Prairie Farms as the milk.
I didn't see
Tony,
the deal, wasn't
is it you?
Yep.
Okay, who's second?
Wait a second.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next is approve the bread bid.
And for the bread bids, we've got 3 different bids. So Vera Pace, which is the same that does the Prairie Farm one, they actually did a bid for Panel Gold and for Bimbo. And then we got one from Maynard's. And I guess looking at the prices, the Panel Gold through a Vera Pace is
The
The
cheapest,
cheapest
and that's
one,
what we
yep.
have to do, right? We have to go with
I
the
think we
cheapest
have to go,
because
I
of the
think we
bidding
have to,
process.
yeah.
Unfortunately.
Because it's the same, yeah, unfortunately, but yeah, it's the same product.
Mhm. And we're getting the requirements
So.
that we need to be.
Yes, yes. The Avera paste, we had some in the past, there were some that they had on there that didn't, but,
Right.
yeah, but since we have the Pan Gold one, that does meet the specs.
So Avera Prairie Farms again.
So it's, yeah, it's the Pan Gold, there's through Avera paste.
Vera Pace, like the medical
Mhm.
that I.
Well, it's the, if you look at the logo,
Yeah, it's
The
the
logo
it
same.
is, it's the Avera, yes.
Oh, it is.
But it's like a buying group, I mean, it's what Avera pays, so they, but it must be through Avera
Yeah.
because it is the Avera logo on their stuff.
Mhm. Okay. So we'll let Maynards know that for next year too, so they don't plan on, because they were us last year, weren't they? Or no?
Yes, yeah.
So we'll probably
They have been, yeah.
let them know.
Yeah, and so we haven't received the
Mhm.
Avera, the Pan Gold one in the past.
Mhm.
And the Bimbo one didn't meet the specs the
Right.
last couple of years.
Right.
But yes, I will, I know, it's,
Mhm. Sorry.
yes, I will let them know.
Okay. Take a motion.
So,
Joel?
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Next, we'll do the first reading of the elementary handbook. Todd, you want to walk us through that?
Sure. Just some minor changes there right away, adding Mrs. Swenson in as the 504 and removing myself as the athletic director. All the changes you'll see are in red. And then I did tweak my letter at the beginning of it just a little bit. Just I like the wording and the flow of it a little bit better than the previous one. So on page 27, just an updated staff list. Obviously, this is going to change once we get paraprofessionals and know where they're going to be, whether they're elementary, middle school, high school, that type of thing. So I just added a few spots down there below. We have our new teacher in the 2nd grade room in there, and then for some reason, title hadn't been on there in the past and missed, so I added the 2 title teachers. And then art, when we approved the handbook last year, I still had Mrs. Hockett, because it was a late hire. but-
Right.
And then also added in physical education and Mr. Lepke, removal of Lynn Goodmanson.
Mhm.
All right. Next one, I just added some winter playground expectations. I think these go well with our current playground expectations, just adds a twist of ice and snow and all of that kind of stuff on there. Just a reminder, snow and ice remains on the ground, no sliding on the ice. All those fun things that we're gonna take away from your kids. I guess. Classroom rules, this was just tweaked to look a little bit better, a little bit different, and to add in the disciplinary actions piece. Just wording more than anything to make it, in my opinion, a little bit stronger.
You got expulsion in there too.
Correct. What's that?
It's a new rule from the state. isn't it?
Yep.
You can do that.
Any questions on any of that yet? Okay, absence and attendance policy, I just tweaked this a little bit with the elementary. We don't have individual class periods we take.
What page are you
Sorry, 38, I'll try to do better with
on? No,
that.
you're good.
You have a 37 personal cell phones.
Oh, personal cell phone,
That's
on
where I
page
was
37 that I forgot,
I
yep.
thought I missed.
Just a reminder, I just added that in there. I know we talk about the office phones and kids can't use them. But I also want to enforce that the elementary kids aren't going to their locker in between a class and thinking that they can call their parent or things like that. So I added in the personal cell phone use as well. We make all parent contacts home through the office, my assistant or myself, or if we're not around, the teacher then makes those calls.
And, you don't have anything in there, I don't think, on texting, is that out too? And should that be added?
Will not use their
Personal cell phone.
personal cell phones, means calls or texts or
But it
any
says
use of.
for-
Personal calls and texts,
Oh, I see. I'm sorry, I missed that.
I can add that in there.
Well, I just wondered that,
Yep.
it doesn't say that, so, anyway.
Any questions on that?
Good.
All right, and then the absence and attendance policy, just read through this again, and it didn't really work for the elementary because we don't have 4 periods in the first morning, so instead of that counted unexcused absence for that class period, they'll just be counted tardy for that individual day in that morning once they arrive, unless it's after that certain point of they're considered absent for the morning. But most of our kids, if they're late, it's like 8:20, 8:30 that they come rolling in, so it would still constitute as being counted tardy. Page 42, this is something that we had a lot of communication with our clinic over here and recommendations for what's considered a fever. Every kid is a little bit different. Obviously, if a kid comes in and is at 100 and extremely lethargic, yeah, they're sick, they don't feel good. But the clinic has always recommended that 100.4 as being a legit, true fever that we could send them home. If they come in 100, teacher thinks they feel or are hot, if they're doing okay and can get through their day, they're technically allowed to stay in and finish the day. Obviously, we'll keep an eye on them and do what we feel is best. I also put that in there for our 24-hour rule of being fever-free, and so parents have that guide, okay? And their thermometers versus our thermometers, they're all different. I mean, you don't find 2 thermometers that are exactly the same. So just a little bit of language in there of 100.4 to return below 100.4 to return for 24 hours to return to the school.
Do you think there's ever a need to describe, I know it's 24 hours and I know that's exactly what it means, but like details, like if you had a temperature at 1 o'clock, that means 1 o'clock is 24 hours,
And
maybe
that's-
not the next morning.
That's one thing that Jeannie and I were more conscious about when parents did come in and pick up their kid. Just a reminder, they can't be back till 10:15.
Right.
You know, they're going home at 10:15 that morning, so it's technically that 10:15. Is it always effective? I mean,
Yeah.
we'll we'll have kids show up.
Kids on the
and
doorstep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, so.
Guidelines.
We'll check them and make sure that we feel like they're okay, but we do really try to encourage that 24 hours for the sake of keeping other kids healthy and our staff healthy.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, we do just verbally kind
Sure.
of express that to parents is when they pick them up.
Can you actually tempt kids?
Can we tempt kids?
Yeah.
Yeah, yep. Any questions on that? All right, page 45, cell phone smartwatches. First infraction, principal will keep the device in the office until the end of the day and then return to the student. Parent contact will be made. And second infraction, the principal will keep the device in the office until a parent can come in to get the device. So
That's new?
that is new in here.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I've been operating. I'll be honest, I've had to take one in my 6 years or however many years. So it's not a huge issue in our elementary, but, and this one happened to the kid that fell out of their pocket, and I kept it till the end of the day, and then they had it out again at breakfast and one other time that the teacher saw it. So then it came with me, and parents were very understanding, extremely upset with their child that it was out or even at school.
Yeah.
So it was very supported by that said parent.
Just got a comment here, you have on this one that they're not allowed to use in hallways and playgrounds where the high school and middle school are, is that the way you want to leave that? That's correct? They are two different ways there. I didn't know.
You pretty well have a cell phone ban in elementary then, the way it's worded, essentially.
Yeah,
In
and it's
high
been
school,
that
they
way
can
for
use them.
for
I didn't
years.
know if you
It's to
knew
be kept
it
in
was
their
different.
locker, it's not,
Yeah, I mean, they can be in their locker, in their coats, if we see them go to their locker and.
but it's mostly for before
Check it
school
out.
and after school,
Yeah,
is how I
it's-
interpret it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's not the same as middle school.
No, it's not.
It's not,
I just didn't know
I
if
think you get two
did that.
different
Okay.
animals there.
yeah, it's
with
been that way.
Middle school and elementary and high school, so.
Okay.
Just added on page 47, added in the actual grading scale. Prior to that, it just listed A, B, C, D,
Oh,
F.
all right.
Not quite sure how that was missed in the past, but added in the grading scale. And then onto the parent notification, school health assessments, just change dates. And that's pretty much it in the elementary one, I think.
Sounds good. And we don't have to do anything, right? Just,
No,
got it.
because after the
Yeah,
so
second
we're good.
reading, yep,
And
next
then,
month it'll
yeah,
be,
just, that's it.
Okay.
yep, needs to be approved.
And then we'll do the middle school, high school one, and I'm assuming it's on 57 with no cover page?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. And these are just the summaries of the changes. I didn't include the entire handbook.
Oh, got it.
So it starts off with a change in valedictorian. This is just a one-year change, and it's to offset the unintended impact that the weighing of dual credits that we did last year had on some of our students who either went up into algebra as 8th graders, who took physics with Mrs. Hinker during 4th period when everyone else was in study hall, or when students had music classes in 4th and 8th period. And so we just added a note for the 26-27 school year, all students above a 4.0 GPA will be considered for valedictorian, so it'll end up going to their ACT score.
Because you're gonna have so many that are.
Because
think?
But it does anyway, or?
some of the students who chose to take those extra classes or who were in the advanced math classes, the unintended impact was involving the average of the number of 4.0 classes against that dual credit. And so it ended up hurting them to be an advanced student essentially, or it ended up hurting them to be a music student. And so that was not something that we want to do. And so the students who stayed in music or who stayed in that physics class, or who, you know, we make them, if they move up during algebra in 8th grade, they have to take that trig pre-calc. So we ended up hurting some of our top students,
So essentially, everybody with a 4.1 and above is tied.
essentially.
Essentially.
Yeah.
And then the ACT as well.
The ACT will be the tiebreaker as it's been in the past. So it's just kind of rewording to keep it fair to the students that were unintendedly impacted.
And you got a 1 year on that, why?
Because we are in point number 2, the grading scale update, we are reversing the dual credit weighting because of that unintended impact.
And that only happened for 1 year.
Yeah, and so the only students that are impacted were this year's seniors and then this year's juniors. So this year's juniors will be the only class that the 20 impacts. And then the point number 2, it just takes out those dual credit weights and then just clarifies that dual credit courses and in-house courses are weighted equally. Number 3 just offered some clarification because we've had a lot of parents asking about online options because we do have a distance learning policy in the middle school, high school handbook. And the way that it's written has led some parents to believe that we have online options through Deuel. But that is specifically for our MSU courses like the Spanish 1, Spanish 2, things that we don't offer here, but that we still want to offer for high school credit. And so this just clarifies that the course options for distance learning are meant to supplement, not replace the course options available to students. And Deuel does not have a full-time distance learning option. And then this next piece, I had feedback from the staff regarding some late work policy and some best practices. So this is just rewording some of that and adding in some of the parent accountability as well. It is expected that all assignments be completed in a timely manner. Deadlines set by the teacher will be met to avoid A grade deduction. And then I took out the specific reduction in grade because some teachers wanted to be able to have that flexibility of having what they already had in their policy. And then I just added there's no guarantee of credit awarded in assignments turned in after the conclusion of the chapter and unit.
So each staff has like a policy that they give at the beginning of the school year to what their work is.
Correct. Parent contact may be made when students have a D or an F as a standing grade, and then I just defined what that standing grade is, so that way we know that it doesn't necessarily happen the second a student has an F, it is if this grade is standing as an F. And then the parts that were added, parents and students may check grades at any time on campus using the portals, and they checked each teacher's plan book for class pacing, and that took away the middle school emailing each week for the pacing. And then teachers will keep grades updated in campus at a minimum of every 2 weeks, with the exception of any units, for example, the research paper, that encompasses more time without daily work due, just so that parents know what to expect from teachers as well. And then the next section, attendance and the attendance policy, just clarified how parents have been contacting the office, and so I just put contact instead of call before 9 a.m. And then if parents do not call, I added text or email, and then I fixed a typo where it says students who arrive at class 15 or more minutes, it said last, but it's supposed to be late, will be counted absent and excused. And then point 6, the section that says advice information can be found on the district website under health services. Michelle Gross let me know that that information is not actually available on our website, and so I just took that out of the handbook because everything is listed in that section of the handbook already. The progressive discipline chart, I just clarified cell phone variations and consequences for having the cell phones, and then I also added, we had a lot of students this year misuse their study hall passes. For 4th period and 8th period, we allow teachers to give passes to students so they can come and work with them during those study halls, and a lot of students take advantage of that and go to the teacher and get help, but we had a few students who took those for granted and left the building. And so it just added in a more clear consequence for that. And then number 8, the electronic communication devices. So this is a more strict cell phone policy that encompasses the entire period rather than allowing students to have their phones during work time. Feedback from staff was that they wanted a straight across policy instead of having the freedom to have the students have the phones if they wanted during work time. So The new policy is students are expected to turn their cell phones and other wearable devices, and that includes their smartwatches or their AirPods, into the classroom caddies at the beginning of every period. Devices are expected to remain in the caddies until the bell rings, signaling the end of that class period, and this includes study halls. So from bell to bell, students will not have their cell phones. Students will only have their cell phones during passing period and lunch. Phones and other wearable devices will remain in the classroom if a student utilizes a pass during class time. And then the repeat offenders may be subject to grade deductions. That's the same as it was. Students who use their electronic communication devices improperly are subject to having them confiscated, as well as being assigned a consequence for repeated offenses. And then I added a section on the use of burner phones or placing a dummy device into the caddies will result in consequences according to that discipline chart that's listed above. And then we do have a lot of students who like to utilize music during work times, and so we are expecting them to use their Chromebook with wired headphones versus this past year, a lot of them would have their music playing on their cell phones. The cell phone would be in the caddy, they'd have AirPods in. So this way, their devices
Your
are just
AirPods
not
are in the
being
caddy,
used.
then they can't use my names.
Cheating or plagiarism, this just provides some clarification, including what happens to the students who share their work to help others cheat. And so any student caught cheating or plagiarizing on a test or assignment by a staff member will receive a 0 for that assignment. Students suspected of cheating based on eyewitness reports by peers will be investigated and may receive a 0 for that test or assignment with the option to retake under close supervision. And then the black part was already there, and then this policy includes students who help others by sharing materials or information regarding tests or assignments. And then we added AI last year. Driving motor vehicles, this is just another clarification. Only seniors with privileges are allowed to park on the north side of the school. This past year we had a lot of students. I had a few days where I stood at the high school door at 8 o'clock and sent a lot of underclassmen away to the back where they're supposed to park, and so it just clarifies that in here. And then the Methodist Church has requested that we not allow students to park on the east side, so I just put that in here so that way everyone knows that. And then section 11, athletics and activities, this is about eligibility. And this just clarifies that when a student becomes ineligible, it's from grade check to grade check. And so if it's eligible, it's also grade check to grade check. And we will be consistent with pulling the report for the grades at 8 a.m. on Monday mornings. And then dual credit students are required to share their grade in a weekly grade check by the end of fourth period every Monday. We're typically not worried about them as far as eligibility in sports because they're usually in good academic standing. Then number 12 just clarifies if a student is in more than one activity or sport within a season, just making sure that the coaches and advisors are aware of what else they are in, so they are only missing a maximum of 2 school days during an academic week. And then just encourages everyone to remember that our first role is as a student. The absence of the day of an activity, a lot of times this ends up kind of getting dropped just because of communication, so we're finding a report on campus that we can communicate with coaches, but it just clarifies all participants of extracurricular activities are expected to be in attendance for at least half the day, and that's defined as any combination of 4 class periods. And then put in a blurb because parents are tending to excuse their kids, which then if a parent excuses their kid, we have no recourse really past that. And so it just reiterates parents are strongly discouraged from excusing students from attending school on days during which that student has a practice or contest scheduled. It should be scheduled instead of scheduled, so fix that. The high school office will communicate directly with coaches and students who do not meet this threshold. And then study halls, learning labs, just.
Sorry, Katie, can I ask a question about that? So
Yep.
if a kid has an appointment or something and is gone all day, they can't be,
That's excused, and
Okay.
that's, if appointments especially are exempt.
okay. Okay, got it.
When, is there a part in the handbook, because I can't remember, of what is considered excused and unexcused,
Yes.
right? There's a table, right?
And
Yeah.
then
Okay.
I know, I just can't remember either. I
I
remember
remember
seeing
it,
it,
but I
but,
didn't read it.
It's in
yeah,
the attendance section.
perfect.
It lays out what's an excuse, what's an exempt.
And then you follow that
considered
same for
excused.
sports or activities.
Extracurricular are expected to be in attendance to participate.
Can you
Okay,
add?
that wording is confusing to me. Sorry, because it just says they're expected to be in attendance for at least half a day to participate, any combination of 4 classes.
Should we add in there something about the excuse
I think,
absences?
yeah.
I can add in exempt.
If unexcused absences or something that kind of clarifies that.
Sorry, I just, it's,
I can reword. for
Okay.
July.
Mm-hmm.
thank you.
But the gist of it is, if they're a half a day, no matter if it's in morning classes or late classes, they're, it doesn't.
They're not supposed to participate.
Yep.
But again, the gray area is if Leah excuses Emmett for periods 1 through 4, and we don't know if it's an appointment, we just know that he's excused. We know he's not skipping,
Mm-hmm.
so then he would probably still be able to participate. Or if you guys were coming back from, visiting family far away. So it's a murky area.
Yeah.
I like the addition of 4 classes, cause it's
Yeah.
kind of always like, is it noon, is it 12:15?
Yeah.
I think that's
I
good.
like that too. I think that, I like this clarification. I just, yeah.
Ex-
It just needs to be
It's just
reworded.
never clear
Excuse.
enough for me. Thank you.
Yep. And then moving on to 14, the study halls, learning labs, just provides clarifications on students being able to leave. Students wishing to leave their study hall to work with a different teacher for more than the time it would take to ask a question must obtain a pink pass from that teacher ahead of time and report back to their original study hall teacher prior to the end of the period. Students who've used this will lose the privilege of leaving study halls to work with teachers. And again, we had just a lot of students who really took it for granted that we were letting them leave and they would be wandering the school and everything. And so we're just hoping that this cuts down on that. And then the section on passes, number 15, I just added a bullet point that reiterates the point we have on number 14. Number 16, I added some prom-specific items based on situations that we encountered this year. See section C for out-of-town guest information, just so that way it's in 2 places. Prom is open to juniors and seniors in good standing. Underclassmen are permitted to attend if invited by a junior and senior and must agree to follow the expectations that come with a formal grand march and dance designed for upperclassmen. And then members of the junior class are expected to participate in the fundraisers for prom in order to participate in prom. And then I just reiterated, because I know there was some confusion this year, post-prom is parent-driven and utilizes different fundraisers.
See section C for out-of-town guest information, you didn't change anything there, you just are referencing it?
Yep, just referencing it. And then the school discontinuance due to weather, we had listed that we posted on the website, which we do not do, we just post using the messenger and then the Facebook page. And then we had a lot of students this year that were in dual credits that needed to use personal devices for their lockdown browsers for dual credits. And so this just clarifies, if they need to use their personal devices for dual credit courses, they're only to use it for that course. Otherwise, they're required to use their district-issued Chromebook for all other courses. So a lot of changes, but a lot of it is through feedback, and I think they're good changes, clarifications.
Yeah, good work on that.
All right, first reading done. Next, we'll approve the insurance renewal, page 65. Ellen, you wanna talk us through that?
The way they have it all, it's pretty much laid out on here with the.
In red or
this year,
changes?
it,
Just went up a smidge.
Oh, yeah, it just went up, yeah, I'm looking at the red stuff, but I mean, the red stuff is all the same from last year to this year, so, yeah, I'm not sure why those are,
The numbers are
Yeah.
different, but.
yeah. So it's just, and I think it was about what they said, it was 10%, around 10%, I think, is like most of this stuff. Increase, let's find, email.
remember last year, the deductible went to 1% of the value, that's like, 79 lines down. That's where that comes from, wasn't it, Alan? The deductible wind hail per building is 1%, and that, we talked about this afternoon, it was $500,000 deductible.
Yes, that deductible, yeah, because that changed last year.
Yeah.
And so if you look on the next page on 66, there's that optional quotes. So that's that wind hail deductible buy down option. And we did not do that last year, but it means that we would have, because the buy down would make it a $100,000 deductible, but with our value of the building, we would be responsible for an additional $412,425 as a deductible if we didn't do the buy down. And we did not do the buy down, because the premium for the buy down this year would be $18,793.79.
Yeah, last year we just decided to eat the costs.
Self-insured, what
Yeah.
we saved there was, I mean, we're gonna take on about $380,000 more risk.
Right.
If something should
Yeah.
happen, that'd be a
Right.
deductible difference down to the 100,000 if you buy down, plus the cost of the insurance.
Right, so if you had the deductible of $100,000 plus the almost $19,000 premium, we take that off the whatever, 412,
Whatever the
or 512, yeah.
1% of the value.
Yep.
And then that next deal, that next page, if we don't do this, we don't need that, so.
Right.
Underwriter
Yeah,
disclosure.
so what the premiums that are on this, the comparison here would be everything that we, would be doing for sure, and then we have to either say yes or no to the accept or reject the wind hail deductible buy down option.
Are we all in favor of rejecting the buy down? Okay. And then approving the premium? I'll take a motion.
So moved. Wait. Second.
All in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Next is the approval of the fuel bid.
We just received the one from Senex, and I think that should be, did I put that with the extra stuff that I
Up here?
laid up on top there? Yeah, there's a, so that's what Deuel County Farmers Union, I put it on my calendar, so I did it early, so if we don't accept it, we still have time to negotiate with them or whatever.
So this is the same as last year? What we're doing? Or do I need to-
I don't remember either.
Well, last year
Did we
we
have a
didn't,
set?
we didn't lock in a price. So we're sitting here in this situation towards the end of the year, we're getting higher prices, but I'm just wondering, are we, just reading through this, this is the first time I've seen this, so.
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, and I'm thinking that after you renegotiated with them last year, I'm thinking that we did just so much per gallon discount.
Yeah, we didn't lock in a price, so the tail end of the year, the gas prices go up and up. See, and I
Yeah, the
just-
pump
this-
price
We're not locking a
line is-
price in here.
yeah.
That's what this would be, would not be right, it'd be whatever the pump price is, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, they would last year, if you wanted to.
But we didn't.
But it was-
Higher than what the pump price
Yeah,
is.
it was higher than the pump
It was,
price.
and that's why Joe went back and
Yeah.
visited with them and renegotiated with them, and then they came,
And
and then they came back with a, right.
So you have an option to lock it in, but it's just
Right.
taking some of the risk on that, where now
I
we're
think
just.
right now we do this, I don't think we wanna
Yeah,
lock anything now.
No, I
It'll
don't
be
think so
$5
either.
if they lock it in.
So I think this is, I think that's appropriate, if that's what we did last year.
I think it was 15 or 20 cents last year.
I think 15 too, but feels like comes to mind, but I don't know.
Do you know if it's 20 cents?
It was 15 or 20, I
Yeah,
can't
we don't
remember.
know. Helen, do you remember?
I do not remember off the top of my head, I mean, I could go
We'll look.
see if I could find it, yeah, but I don't remember what it was for sure.
We need to okay this tonight?
Yeah, we
So-
should because it expires on June 30th, right? Yeah, June 30th, or July 1st is when it's up for, so we won't have a meeting by then. So I think approving it now, I'll take a motion.
I'll make a motion.
I heard Leah first.
Yep.
Okay,
Second.
Tony second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. All right. Now we have a handful of policies that Chad's gonna walk us through, so we'll get to the policy IGBI. Assignment to alternative setting first.
These were the policy alerts that were sent out between the last board meeting and now. And each of them is a reflection of the legislation impact on them. So if you've had a chance to look at these, there's not, it's just basically some wordage added to it, of which I highlighted on each of the policies. This particular policy, the assignment to alternate setting, is from House Bill 1017, which gives the board the autonomy to basically place a student, a behavior student, outside or into the home and provide services if they were fell under the special education umbrella. So it basically it just mimics everything that's stated in that particular bill that passed. And we'll just do these one at a time, so.
Yeah, they're listed on the agenda individually, so we'll approve them individually. Any
So we do
questions?
have to do one at a time?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So any questions on that one before I take a motion? Okay, take a motion.
So wait.
Okay.
Joel seconds.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next is policy IGA, basic instructional program.
Yep, this came from House Bill 1313 saying, talking about human growth and development and how it has to be taught in the classroom, which is very specific. So it outlines that particular area that needs to be taught, as well as how it needs to be taught moving forward.
Can I ask why it's a policy and not just
My guess is it's
instruction like everything else?
probably because it went through the legislature, and then it probably just dovetails down into everything else.
Yeah, we just have curriculum requirements and
Yeah.
everything else. I don't have a policy for it. That's what I was wondering why.
But it probably wasn't
Does it say,
legislated by the
Because
state.
it's state law now,
Yeah,
does it say when it has to be done by?
this
Like,
coming
others?
year.
But is
Well,
this
here,
like all
hold on.
grades or?
No, I think it's just a high school. Yep.
I didn't say a specific.
I don't see a specific grade.
For some reason I thought it said this was weird, but okay.
As part of the health or science curriculum.
Yeah.
This is one of those things that the school nurse, they'll typically define it and explain it more in depth from our parent groups as to where it needs and how we're, and then we'll have to check it off on our year-end sign-off that we're doing this with, along with CPR and the other things that are mandated.
Can't make motion pass.
Yeah. Joel,
Second.
Tony, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next, approve the policy EFB, free and reduced food services.
Yep, this just acknowledges that no charges for meals will be imposed on students eligible for reduced lunches. I remember listening to this quite a bit, and it's just just an additional thing that they're passing on to students that are on reduced lunches. So I don't know if you have anything to add to that. No.
Sorry.
I
So
think-
now there's just no reduced lunches, it's just you get free
They're all
lunches
free,
or?
even if you qualify for reduced, you get free, but the state is paying the difference. Because before, like for the federal, like for free, we get so much money from federal, we get so much, or for free and reduced from federal, where the difference in that is gonna be from the state.
So it's not
So
lost
it's more
income for
free.
the.
It's
not
it's
lost
not-
income,
not
yeah.
lost income
And
for
I
the school,
believe
they're
it's-
refunded
okay.
for it.
Well, I don't know if we have to submit anything else, because we already submit the information into the ICANN system, and I think they will be taking the
They sure should
information
be,
out of the
yeah.
ICANN system to pay that difference. But I think, if I remember hearing correctly, I think that it'll only be reimbursed like once a quarter versus like ICANN if you submit it every month, you get reimbursed. We get reimbursed every month, but I think it's once a quarter.
Okay.
And maybe that'll change, but anyway, I don't think I'll have to do anything, except we'll have to go into our, food service system and put $0 in, so they're not getting charged the 30 cents for breakfast or the 40 cents for lunch.
Sure.
Because that's what reduced is right now. Yeah, so it's not a huge thing, like I said, I don't think there's any other record keeping, I think they'll take it right out of that ICANN system.
Okay.
Yep.
Take a motion.
I'll make a motion.
And Joel seconds.
All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Next, approve the amended policy FC, facilities capitalization policy.
This just basically says we can take our insurance policy, the one we just talked about, out of our capital outlay now, which we are doing.
And the other thing is that that doesn't split out anything between, because some of that insurance was liability, and that's part of this one.
It can all come out of that.
Okay,
Well,
that's all I was wondering.
As far as I know.
Okay. We saw
But the
that.
the property insurance can, the other
Yeah.
insurances, like our vehicle insurances cannot, whatever, the
Cannot be.
property insurance.
That's what I was wondering,
Yes.
so it is
Yep.
split out.
It's
Okay.
just property, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Take a motion.
Wait, so move. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
All right.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next is approve the amended policy JHG, reporting child abuse.
No,
Wait,
FC,
hold on. So,
Whoops, do I?
what was that?
excuse me, DIB.
DIB has just added that in.
DIB types of funds, is that on the agenda? It's not. So can we do it this time?
No,
So we have to wait and do
I
that.
took them right out.
it's fine.
I'll hold that for
So I
next
missed,
time.
well, FC is on here.
It's the same thing, it's just,
Oh,
it's about
Okay.
the premium
gotta add it
for
to
property
the list.
insurance.
That's fine, we can do it next month.
We'll just have to do it, yes.
That's an easy one.
okay, so I need to add DIB
Yep.
types of funds, sorry, I missed that
That's
one when
okay.
I went through the list. Okay,
Alright,
for
let's
next
just
month.
follow the agenda.
Okay.
You guys
Put that
are
right
all-
next to
Sorry.
the mission statement too.
That's Okay, so now
I'll
it's
put
the
take off mission statement.
JHG reporting of child abuse.
Yeah, this is, it just includes coaches now. So the highlighted area now, it includes school employees and coaches. That's the only addition.
Okay, take a motion.
Motion, or I move.
Leah first. I'll take a
Joel
second.
seconds.
Alright, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next is approve amended policy BDDC, agenda preparation and dissemination.
This just outlines the requirements for going into executive session, and what may be discussed in closed session when action occurs. This BDDC.
Yeah, we had this already and
Yeah,
said all that.
We
is
have
just
this, and I
where it's-
highlighted it, and we're actually doing all of these things anyways that it's highlighted.
Mhm.
But my guess is I don't know why this particular section was added, so. As I read that and highlighted the difference between the two policies, we're doing it anyways, so,
Mhm.
Here we go.
yeah, so
Yeah.
I implemented the change in it.
Take a motion.
Your turn.
Motion, Tom. Wait, second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next is approve policy BDC for executive sessions as well.
This is BDC,
BDC.
yeah, this is, trying to follow along here. Same thing, it just gives further definition. They added the wordage here in the highlighted.
Yes, he is different.
Just to find it, I don't know if this was not a part of the policy, providing participation about eligibility in sanctioned sports, attorney-client privilege, discussing emergency or disaster response plans.
That wasn't in here before?
No, these were all added, and
We
discussing,
talked about
yeah,
having that in there.
yeah,
We should
discussing
have
the
it.
location or listing of any ammunition, weapons, biological, chemical, or nuclear agents, or military law enforcement equipment or personnel. So-
Nuclear agents.
Yeah, exactly, so
Why are we discussing
I
this?
don't know, but
We can, in executive session, I guess.
But you'd wanna do an executive session.
Executive session.
Yeah, so.
We have to do that in
We talked about that.
Emergency.
Yeah.
The chemical warfare stuff, I don't
Well,
really.
Yeah. If you had some of that in your building, you would want kids to know about
Well, it was worded in a different way, discussing the oh, no, that's not it. I feel like it was worded in a different way.
Anyway, we
Okay,
talked about
anyways.
that, making sure,
Doesn't it? We're gonna approve it, or we're gonna take a motion.
I'll make a motion, if we're all good.
Okay.
Second. Gotta move on.
Tony got the second. All in favor, say aye. Opposed?
You're next.
Motion carried. Next is BB school board elections.
That just outlines the election dates that were established, about having it on that set day in June, and then the day in November. And then it outlines in odd number years, or with the regular June or regular November, as I stated there. So it's the addition of the November election.
Take a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Thank you.
Joel seconds.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Last one is policy BDDG minutes.
Same thing, it just outlines the option of the June primary or the regular November election, so it adds the word November in there.
Motion?
So moved. Wade, second. Tony.
All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Next is approve the Perkins Consortium stipend of $2,000 for Mr. Brian Tweet. And that's not an attachment.
This is a yearly thing. Brian is actually the head of our consortium of 13 schools for Perkins, so he coordinates and submits all of the data into the grant management system and organizes between all of the schools and all of the CTE teachers and administrators, so.
Do we get money from anywhere to help pay for that 2,000? That like a
I think
big
it's-
chunk of change?
I'm thinking it's taken out of that.
Well, we do get a little bit, cause it's there's a percentage that we get, like for extra costs, whatever, I don't know if it's quite 2,000, but we do get some.
We don't have to fork all of
get
it.
some,
Yeah.
we do get some
There's some clerical.
out of the grant
Okay.
that we can claim.
Take a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Next is to approve the 2026 comprehensive plan for special education, starting on page 82.
This is a yearly thing that we have to approve for the co-op every year. Each district has to approve the comprehensive plan, of which the co-op is really good about sharing updates or things that we need to change within it. So there were not any real updates this year as there were last year, so it's, for the most part, changed the date and approved, so.
Okay,
So moved. Wade.
thank you.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Opposed? I got lost. Motion carried. Okay, the next is approving the resignation of Tony Nielsen as the assistant girls basketball coach.
Tony he's not stepping away from the program, he's just gonna serve more in a volunteer capacity, but time commitment and those types of things, it was, coaches had met and discussed some options moving forward, and obviously your next motion is gonna approve for Hannah, so Hannah will be moving into that, and then he's gonna serve as a volunteer role.
Which is further down.
Which is, yeah,
Yep, on the
yeah,
agenda.
which is there, so hopefully that makes sense.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Leah, I wrote down. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next, approve the assistant of Hannah London to girls basketball coach.
And I just alluded to that,
Yep.
so pretty self-explanatory.
Take a motion.
So moved. Wade.
Second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next is to approve the open enrollment application 26-27A.
That's open enrollment for this upcoming year.
So we'll wait.
Thank you.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next is to deny the open enrollment of application 26-27B.
We have gone through the process and are denying this open enrollment based on not being able to provide a particular program for this student, so.
Motion?
Joel makes a motion.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next is to approve the extracurricular schedule, that's on page 109. Keeping in mind that Leah and Tony met with others, teachers and Todd on this and came up with these plans. That's on page, and so starting on page 109, but also covers,
110.
10 and 11.
11, you
Yeah.
can't read the number, that one got cut off,
that's okay.
no matter where I put it.
It outlines the proposal, so yeah, you're right. Tony and Leah and Todd and I and two of the negotiators met and went over this and talked about possible changes. The proposed changes there are made. There were some positions that moved to certain areas, as was there were positions added to this. So in a nutshell, I think it reflects probably something a little bit, I shouldn't say more fair, but I'd say it's competitive to what other districts are doing, and again, hopefully we can stay competitive with other districts, and as some of these positions get harder and harder to fill, adding a little bit of money is gonna help too, so. Unless you guys have anything to add to it.
I think we kind of, as that committee met, and I think everyone was happy with how things went when we left, so.
Oh, I'm just taking this to get through it.
It was about an hour.
Hour and a half, hour and a half.
Well, thanks to all
Looks
you
like you put a
guys.
little work into this.
Yeah,
Appreciate
thanks for
it.
doing that. Okay. Any other thoughts? Otherwise, I'll take a motion.
Joel moves.
Second.
Tony, I heard. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next is to approve the $50,000 transfer from general fund to food service fund. That's to cover the deficit.
Yep.
Mhm.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next is to approve $80,000 transfer from general fund to enterprise fund.
For the preschool.
That covers preschool program.
So how's that all going with preschool? You got any numbers or anything, you know what numbers we're gonna have?
Not yet.
About 22 for the morning and 6 for the afternoon.
Really?
That was upon request. Obviously, I've made phone calls and I think I've gotten even out to 14 and 15, somewhere in there. So really good numbers again coming into our preschool, so.
Good.
Yeah, thanks.
Well,
Okay.
did I make a motion? right?
You did.
Yeah, you did right.
I wrote down Joel, so I'm keeping that.
Yeah.
A second,
Second.
Leah. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next is to approve the surplus items.
So I have, a bunch of, Dell Chromebooks that we're getting rid of, old ones, that's what I'm doing.
Which Chromebook?
Oh, what's that?
Computer.
The Chromebook and the computers that the kids, yep, that the students use, yep. So it's about, yeah.
Are those the ones he sends back to recycle or not those?
I think a lot of times, no, these ones, I think they
Okay.
sell off or whatever
Yeah.
because they're, yeah.
The battery life, they're
Yeah,
still,
stuff.
they're still supported, the battery life is just horrible.
Yeah.
So you can plug them in the wall and you can use it?
Well, yeah, but you'd have to, yeah, but
You
like
gotta
with
get
the
on.
kids, it's like to Everybody would have them all, yeah. they have.
20, 30 bucks.
Really?
Mhm.
Let's take one.
You need another computer in your life?
Huh?
You need another computer in your life?
I know a guy.
And then there's also, 6, pole vault poles.
What do you do with those?
No, I
Was
don't.
that, they're selling, they're
Yeah.
selling.
Selling?
Yeah, selling them, yep.
I only need 5 of them, I don't want all.
You don't want all 6?
Okay,
So we gotta take them, we're not gonna split them, I don't want them.
You don't want them.
could they be used for fence poles? Is that what you mean?
So what do you do with them?
Well, they're just gonna sell them to somebody they'll use them, I suppose, for pole vault poles, I mean.
Practice.
I don't know.
Are we
Yep.
getting new ones, or how come they're getting rid of?
We bought new ones, they were in the bills.
Well, they do, well, the thing is, it's like, you
They're
know,
on extra weights.
well, yeah, every year when you have different kids, it's like, yeah, they change.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that perfectly matches, you're gonna go 18
Mhm.
feet.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
gotta have the right pole and the
Yeah.
right length.
I mean, like, these are all different, yeah, there's like a couple 13-foot poles, a couple 12-foot, you know what I mean, it's just, and I think
There's
they're
nothing
different.
wrong with
I think they're
these.
different weights too, whatever, I
So we
don't
got two
know
good
anything about
places
pole
in the
poles,
state
but
with
anyway.
That was pretty good, so.
Yeah, there used to be a company that just rents them up.
There
Yes.
is, and we've rented them before, but you have to drive to the cities and get them,
Or Lincoln.
and bring them back. Yeah, the ones that we did was, yeah, was from the cities.
You literally
Yeah.
pull up to the building, punch your code in, door opens, you pull out your pole.
Really?
It's interesting.
Handy.
Was it
And you
getting?
turn around and
Oh.
drive home.
Drive home, oh,
Were you
from
in
the one
like
from the cities?
the slums?
Oh, yeah.
Was it scary to do it? Funny. Okay.
So I don't know if it's any cheaper to rent it, because, you know,
Yeah, you gotta
by the time you have
drive.
your travel time and everything, it's.
Okay, motion to
Anyway.
approve the surplus.
Yeah.
Wade,
Wait,
Second.
Tony, Wade, Tony. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Now approve Tony Nielsen as the volunteer girls basketball coach.
I'll make a motion to do so.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Are you opposed, Joel, or are you in motion?
That was a slow eye.
items.
I know it is. Motion carried. Approve Braden Simon as assistant basketball coach.
Yeah, Braden's helped out in the middle school this year, and he's actually working with one of the middle school teams this summer too, through Heiser, so he's been knocking on the door and wanting the position, so Todd and I met with him Friday, and he's pretty fired up about it.
So he'll stay
And
middle
he's-
school too?
Yeah, he's got
He's got 8,
1 year of
ninth
school
grade.
left. He's got 8th grade,
8th grade,
Yeah.
coming 8th graders?
so he'll be JV next year.
So it'll be 9th graders next year.
There would be, I think so, yeah.
We'll see.
I thought that's
Yeah.
what Homer said today.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Thanks to Braden.
Depending on numbers, we'll have
Yeah.
to fill that other
Mhm.
junior high spot.
Oh, sure. 'Cause he's using- So 7th is the one? Right, well,
Yeah, I don't know.
it's enough to see, yeah.
The two coaches just kind of work together to decide which one's gonna do 7th and which one's gonna be, I mean, they work together in practices, it's just head coach in the game.
So we got good numbers for junior, for 7th and 8th grade girls and boys basketball? Okay,
Not
The
really.
incoming 7th, I question, I don't know.
boys
Um,
and girls?
Girls especially, they just haven't had any parents to lead their youth programs at all, so they haven't done much. for-
Maybe have a couple girls maybe?
Yeah, I don't,
Okay.
I don't know how many will
Yeah.
now decide, okay, I
Mhm.
can do it and have a coach and participate, so.
So who's our middle school girls coach?
Mrs. DeGanford.
Alyssa. Mhm. Okay, we'll take an approval for Braden.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Good work, team. Got them all approved. Now we'll go on to the reports. Right? That's take a long time to go through this. Mr. Sherbeck.
Yeah, just gonna go through an update on staffing. Our high school science position is still open. It is not looking real promising right now. On the flip side, Mrs. Hahn met with Katie Hinker, and we have a plan B going forward. She met with Katie last week, And we have some things put in place if this doesn't come to fruition, which is, I think, giving everybody a little bit of peace of mind, but obviously it's gonna require a little bit more from 2 or 3 teachers, which we would pay them accordingly for either giving up a prep or study hall or adding another prep to them. So we have that in place. Still gonna cross my fingers here for probably another month and then give them the green light so they have plenty of time to prep and move forward for the school year when it starts. Point of sale operator, and I had 2, I had 1 cook quit before the end of the year, and I had another one that did not sign their contract, so I'm gonna be looking for 3 people in the kitchen here for the summer going into next year. So right now, Anita and Colleen are the only two remaining, so. With that, with Jerry Grady leaving with the custodian position, we're good to go for the summer right now with the student help and our current staffing. Andrew and I are gonna sit down and interview probably mid-July, advertise and look for another custodian for the start of school, which will more than likely be a night custodian like Jerry. Paraprofessionals, Hannah's done a good job of putting this together and looking at her needs moving forward into next year, and talking with her staff, and we've had 4 paras that are not returning, and then we have a need for an additional 2 paras, so we'll be looking for 6 paras here probably in July before school starts.
Can you explain the 2 ads as to why?
The 2 ads, yeah, for the most part, you can help me out, Hannah, if I'm missing anything, but we're getting a jump from kids going from preschool to JK. We've got 2 that need one-on-one paras, and we're not graduating anybody right now for the most part, so that's our.
Who determines the one-on-one, do you?
The team itself, the IEP team, and then those kiddos are technically serviced by our early childhood provider, Wendy, through the co-op. But the co-op obviously doesn't come with paras, right? We hire those internally, so that's where the need is.
So in JK.
Yeah.
Yeah, JK kindergarten, yeah.
Oh, sure.
And then I have a number of extracurricular positions open, from middle school concession stands to drama to you name it. I've got a slew of them that I've sent out to staff, and I'm hoping now that we've approved this, I can attach a dollar amount to some of these, and maybe that'll be a little carrot for some of these people to step up before I advertise outside of the district, or outside of the school, I should say. Gymnastics co-op update, I do not have an update for you. I actually reached out to Ryan Nielsen, who's the superintendent at Canby, after our last meeting, and he had not heard anything from anybody on his end. And I don't know if he was, I don't know, he could really predict what was gonna happen, or if they had an appetite to approve it moving forward. So I guess I'm just gonna wait to hear from him if they have any interest in it whatsoever. So I'll just keep it on here, and if there's anything that comes, I'm obviously gonna keep you guys in the loop.
So I mean,
Will
they
you make
didn't.
another call to him then?
What's that?
Are gonna make another call to him?
Yeah, I certainly
You
can
sure should probably.
follow up with him and see if he's, that was as of after the May
Since
meeting.
the numbers are so low.
Yeah. On June 2nd, Hannah London, Cindy Conal, Jen Von I, us 4 administrators and Danae went through the strategic planning process with the scorecard, and it was a pretty in-depth process that we went through. And I'll just go through some of those things that you guys have in front of you there.
Off to the side.
Yeah, so if you can remember our original strategic plan, we had 5 identified pillars when we started this back in 2021. Since then, we had removed the facilities pillar and had, we still had 5 remaining pillars. So when we went through this, and it was a really good process in terms of creating, not only defining each of the pillars, but setting specific goals that we can measure and add to our scorecard. So what you have in front of you there are the 4 main pillars that we created. We actually combined two pillars into other pillars, so we ended up with 4. So we have an academics pillar, school management pillar, a school pride and engagement pillar, and then a communication pillar. Okay, and these are the 4 areas that we set goals. And I'm not going to go through every single thing here, but they're very tangible, measurable goals. And then what this scorecard is, I'm going to take this group again in about 60 to 90 days after school starts and look at each of these areas and see how we're doing in them. And then what you basically do on your right-hand side with the score, you give it a red light, green light, or yellow light, meaning, yep, you're nailing it, not there yet, or we're working towards it. So it's a very visual type thing that it's process, we can monitor it all the way through the school and then close the loop at the end, and it involves employer rounding, it involves a number of the things that we have implemented throughout our time with Studer. So, do you guys have anything to add to that?
In the one that we kind of combined, so there was a pillar, in school management, it was kind of listed out as a comma item, financial, I can't remember what it said, something financial responsibility, it just didn't really fit in that, so we made that a goal. The district will review financials monthly to make sure we're kind of keeping to the budget, so we just moved it out of the actual definition and just made it a goal.
Do you guys have anything to add?
And we just have to set some goals still in the school
Yeah,
pride and
yeah,
engagement.
there's a couple things that we need to do. My plan is to go through this when school starts again in August and go through it with not only the group that was present on the 2nd, but review it prior to meeting and then have everybody share something from it. So it's not just me getting up and, me or Danae or one of us doing it. It's a group. This is everybody's project here.
Who is in the group? You and Danae, were you and Katie?
Everybody here except
Yeah,
Ellen.
and Hannah London, Cindy Conald, and Jen Von Eyck.
And the pillar that we removed was the student behavior, student support, gave kind of this like negative connotation, but we did add it, it's still student behavior support is still
Some
within.
aspects of it.
Is an aspect of engagement, or academics, is obviously part of it, school management, there's parts of it, so that's, we didn't do away with the goals associated to that, it just fit in others.
I had that same handout, Danae, and I don't know what I
I
did.
just had to refer to it, because I
But
couldn't remember.
my plan is to have Michelle redo that and get that on the website.
This kind of,
Yeah,
so we just got rid of this one to be this
so it's just a one-page document that anybody can reference. So in turn, I did not send out a survey in May, mostly because I wanted to see how this process was going to turn out. So your second handout there that's got the highlighted items, I created this week, or last, I don't remember when I did it. It was after the 2nd,
Last
so. It just defines each of the pillars, and then I created survey questions that reflect each of those 4 pillars. So I actually finished it up. I put it into SurveyMonkey today, and then I will send this out through our campus messenger and put it on Facebook tomorrow for parents and stakeholders, and give a set amount of time, and hopefully share those results to you in July or August. I don't know if I'll get to it in July, but hopefully about the beginning of school, and then obviously share that with the staff too when we come to the back to school days. Last thing I had on here is just our contract. Our contract ends with Studer on June 30th. So That has been approved. I received notification that it has ended. And then the last thing I have on here, and this seems like it was a long time ago, we had a lockdown again at the end of the school year with a voicemail that was left in the office. And I will honestly say, I thought our reaction was a lot better, having gone through it and making some of the changes that we did from last year. But I also met with the staff the following Friday, and I sent out the same survey and got feedback on just certain things that we can do even better next year, so. I said that without even, I said that without even thinking.
You said that in,
Yeah.
take the call, you
Yeah.
know what's gonna be next
I mean,
year.
it has happened 2 years in a row,
Yeah, it's
but
about like a
hopefully it's
fire-
over
It's
now.
about like a fire drill.
Yeah.
So I will be implementing and sharing some of those things with staff, and hopefully we can get some of those things remedied before school starts. Some of it's as easy as locks and communications with substitutes, and there's all these different situations that come with it, so. So it's
I
good.
think someone commented on that too, if I remember right, that the subs don't know what's going on, if there's a fire drill, or if it's, cause they just don't,
Yeah.
they're new stuff.
Mm.
And how do you,
And I don't tell anybody about fire drills except for the preschool, so they don't flip out.
Yeah, that'd be good. But yeah, so to know what our
Yeah,
process is.
and
I
that's
guess,
just
is
one
a
of those
good
things
idea.
that
Mhm.
you just don't even think of, so.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
So yeah, that's it. Then I've got the next board meeting on there on July 13th.
Yeah.
I will be there.
You will?
I will.
Wow.
Get back early. Happens to be late then.
Okay, sorry, I'm losing track. Mrs. Hunt.
I'll just start with a recap of graduation. It was an amazing day, and I want to thank Ms. Domina for all of the work that she does in putting that on and in running the rehearsal to make sure that everything goes smoothly. Thank you to the staff for contributing to the staff baskets. We were able to supply each of the seniors with another basket this year, and it was fun seeing them go through the baskets after rehearsal and seeing them get excited about Band-Aids and all those fun things that they get excited about.
And a water basket.
We celebrated on the Wednesday before school got out our middle school awards and our 8th grade graduation. We had 2 8th graders that were awarded the 8th grade citizenship award, and I just wanted to say congratulations to Huxley Hennings and Ariana Smith for that. This year, the ACT was our state test. We received communication that the scores were incorrect, and so we had to wait a couple of weeks for the updated scores. Those have been updated, and the new mailings have been sent home to families, so everyone should have their accurate scores. Everyone's score, well, not everyone's score, but if the scores changed, they went up, nobody's went down, which was nice. But that also allowed a few more of our students to be able to partake in the incentive that we had for them. We had a few more students be able to take extra days of early senior cribs because of their scores going up to that 18. And then we talked about the handbook updates, but I just wanted to say thank you to my staff. I had sent out a survey with some of the items based on feedback I had heard throughout the year, and they gave me some really good insight on what changes to make, so that way we can have a very smooth next year.
Great, thank you. Mr. Rowe?
All right, you can see the May Student of the Month, as well as the May Cardinal Card winners, and then our end of the year drawing for the bigger gift card was Gracie Severson. Elementary handbook, obviously we went through that. Before I go on, I know we're not necessary, and I didn't put this in, and hopefully I can talk about it since it's not a, I just wanted to, our staff shout outs, I wanted to talk on Darwin Mack's behalf as the athletic director and how well we worked together this year.
Yeah.
I never got no for an answer. He said, we'll figure it out. Just was great to work with this year on the busing, and there was some nights where we were on the phone at 9:30 going, okay, if we can do this, this, and this, would that work on your side? I'm like, Darwin, I'll make it work. We'll send out kids that have to ride this route instead of this route. Just very outside the box and willing to do whatever he could to make it work for all the programs. And then in the spring, you put field trips on top of it. You put outings by the high school, and it just, the spring was kind of messy, but just wanted to give him a shout out for just very enjoyable working with him as the athletic director and the bus routes and all of that kind of stuff this year. So kudos to Darwin, and I appreciate everything he did.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then thanks to the bus drivers for being flexible.
Yes, and the bus
taking
drivers,
over,
obviously,
too.
they're a big part of it as well, so.
Yeah.
Athletic director side, congratulations to those that qualified for the state golf meet, Clarissa, Gavin, and Emmett. State golf was held on the 1st and 2nd in Brookings. Boys were at the country club, girls were at Edgebrook. And then it lists all of our state track qualifiers. We had, I believe it was 21 kiddos that qualified for the state track meet, which I think is a great compliment to our track program and the efforts of our track coaches. So congratulations to all of them. And then the state track places, top 8 finishers. We had 2 girls place in pole vault, Hannah Cutshaw, Lauren Peterhines, and then Oliver Feber, first in the 100, first in the 200. And then the boys 4x1, Axel Gallardo, Gavin Close, Brock Johnson, and Oliver Feber got second. And the boys 4x2 relay got first, Axel Gallardo, Gavin Close, Brock Johnson, and Oliver Feber. So it was a great weekend for dual track.
Yeah.
Did he get MVP too?
Nope.
Okay, he sure deserved it.
There's a video on X, I think it says prelim, and I think I've watched it 10 times because it's not even close. You can't even hardly see, in 100, you don't see that very often. I can't remember if it's the 100 or 200, but you usually don't see like a big gap between, yeah,
Oliver did set the state record
yeah,
in his
and that was,
prelim,
yeah.
100-meter dash, so.
Yeah.
Conditions were better that day than the final
Or in the
day, it
80s.
was wet
In the
for the
80s,
ACA. Yep, so.
Awesome. Thank you.
Fun to
Ellen?
watch.
Business manager report?
Have on there 26-27 budget. I haven't done any updates, because we still have some wages to do and all the extracurricular stuff. And I just received the valuations on Friday.
Wow.
Finally.
Now we know.
Well, they were supposed to be out at the beginning, yeah,
I
in
know.
May, and yes, I
Right.
just received them late last Friday. So I'll work on that now for the next meeting, once, now the extracurricular stuff is, approved, and so we'll have some updates on that. Hourly agreements, those were all sent out, and all but one, was signed. Procurement review, I put the letter in, along with, we had a food service review, and we also had a procurement review, which kind of drug on, because I kept getting more questions and more questions and whatever, and had to rewrite our policy, our procurement policy. But I think everything is done now and submitted, and yeah. and they
No
sent the
further
letter,
action
so-
required, so
Yep.
it better be done.
So, that's, I think every 3 years we have to do that also.
Thank goodness that's done for
So
them.
that one, yeah.
Mhm.
SRS compliance audit, so that was another thing that I've never had to do, but,
What is that?
stand
That was-
South Dakota Retirement System.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yes, so, had an email, and we had to submit a bunch of information, on, like, they selected a group of participants in SGRS, and had to send a bunch of information and a bunch of follow-up questions, and so I haven't heard anything, like, finalized back on that either.
Hmm.
But they haven't asked me questions for a few days, so, yeah, yep. So once we get that, the results on that, I'll present that to you, and I assume that they'll send something
Some letter of some sort.
once that's all done. Then I just put on here, so the, SASD convention will be August 6th and 7th in Sioux Falls, so if anybody's interested in going. I've looked at there's like nothing out there for
No.
what's on the agenda.
Mhm.
Cause I mean,
Never is,
I didn't go
is
last
there?
year because I just didn't feel there was anything, that was real applicable anyway, so I've been kinda looking to see what's there, but just thinking about those days if you're interested in going, so we'll have to do the, register everybody if you're interested in going. I know the, keynote speaker, I think, is out there, but other than that, there's no other information on their site as of yet, anyway.
I'll plan to go the
So-
6th, but not the 7th. I'm just gonna tell you that now, so we don't have to
Okay.
worry about it.
All right, yeah, and then we can talk about it, I mean, again, next month,
True.
to see who's going, so.
Yeah, I see we wrote down.
All right. And then the renewable facility tax. So I put a long sheet on here. I did email Invenergy to find out the status of the South project. They said the timeline has been pushed out. The timeline assumption is operational by the end of the year 2030. And I think we had it, I believe I had it in like 2028, I think is when it was
Yeah.
supposed to originally be.
Long, for a
Yeah.
long time. ago.
So it could be, 29 or 30 is what they're looking at. So on this schedule here, and I kind of changed, I put in like what our projected, and I don't have the projected for, because I don't know what it was some of those years prior to me, but anyway, so I did two different columns so we can actually look at the projected and what the actual was, because if you look at the green highlighted there, we were projecting this year 681,000, and we actually received 708,927. So it was a little higher, it was a little higher than, and I don't know if that had to do with, if you look at the actual 2021 for the Crown Ridge, I mean, we had just a partial payment there, so I'm not sure if that,
Well, even just the
Had something to do
2026,
with
there's
it.
some differences even there in each of the,
oh, yeah,
there's a lot difference in the first one.
in the projected, so. Right, but that's where I'm saying, that's the difference
Mhm.
of that 27,000, so I don't know, I think that had to do with, because it's supposed to be 5 years and then it decreases, but that first year, it was only like, what, 1 month or something, so I'm
I see.
thinking, I'm wondering if that's the
Projected
reason why,
wrong.
I'm not sure.
Sure.
That's a little more. Anyway, so this is the projection then, so I moved the, projected for that south one down to 2029.
Yeah, so come 2029, that year will be a lot less.
Well, actually, 2028, am I looking at this right?
Well, yeah, that'll
I
be
have
a
my
lot less
lines,
too,
but I
but
can't even go across.
even
them.
260.
Yeah, so the 261, yeah, 2029, yeah.
Mhm.
So,
So a few
Yeah.
years from now,
So
we'll
there's
have
any-
a lot
yeah,
less revenue coming in.
questions on that, but that's,
Mhm. Yeah, thanks for this.
the updates there.
Yeah. Nice to see, thank you. Any questions for Ellen on that?
You just have to use our pro formas on the spreadsheet, and, you know, when I look at that for 5 years.
Right.
Five-year outlook.
Yeah, well, yeah, once we get done with this year, then I'll, take the actuals and put in there, and then, and look at some of this, like this projected stuff, whatever,
Yeah,
and update it accordingly.
perfect.
Okay, thank you.
Awesome, thank you. And then NESC Wade,
Yeah, I was unable to attend due to illness, so I don't have anything to report.
report. And then the next meeting is, well, the minutes are in here, right? We can just do those on there.
Right, yeah, be
Yeah,
here.
this is in there from both meetings. yeah.
Okay, so we have to read on your own. And then, next meeting is July 13th. And I just have the survey results, if they're done and ready by then. Gymnastics co-op, if we hear anything else by then. It'll be our budget hearing, be our annual meeting, second reading of the handbooks. And that's really about it. So it'll be a full, long one again.
Won't be this long.
Now this one's gonna go forever.
Oops.
You're on, so you'll have to do
Oh, I'm the only one?
yeah, you'll have to do the new
Are you?
Yeah.
board member.
No, you were the only one, Joel, you were the only one up this year. So we have two next year, be Danae and, no,
I think I got one more year.
oh, Tony and, okay, Tony and, okay.
Okay, any other business? No? Okay, then we're gonna go into exec session pursuant to South Dakota Codified Law 1-25-2, subset 4 for negotiations. Take a motion?